One of the great advantages of Avid is its trimming capabilities. Trimming in Avid is just sensational, and I want to show you a little bit about how to use that. It is modal. So one of the things that we need to understand is that to trim, you need to go into a different mode. There's a number of ways to do that. You can select the mode from this trim button right here. It kind of looks like a 35mm film can with a piece of film sticking out of it. There's another one up here in the timeline. The other way that you can go into trim mode is simply by lassoing any selection. So if you click from right to left and drag, you will go into trim mode. Trim mode is indicated by these two purple rollers on either side. You can click on these monitors to get you the left side or the right side of the trim, or you can click right in the middle to get dual trim. Now if you're in dual roller trim, you can simply drag this if you want to, and you'll see that both of your sides of your trim are moving. And when you release, the trim changes location to the point where you release. You can also play trim, and if I want to make sure that the outgoing shot of this girl here, the kind of more head-on shot, I want to make sure that she hits the ball, I can actually just hit play until she hits the ball and then hit pause, and that's where the trim will go to. Or I can wait till she pulls down her arm, boom, and there's the trim. You can also use these arrow keys up here to trim left and right one frame, forward or back. You can actually see the number of frames you've trimmed is right here. 8 is the number. If you use these double arrows, these trim 10 frames forward and back. If you want to extend the length of one side without changing the other, for example, if I like the incoming shot, where that is, I can click on this side and play out, and that extends the length of the video track at least. Same thing would be on this side. If we want to extend or shorten this side, I can JKL this until she goes into her swing, and now we've shortened the incoming side by 16 frames. So basically, if you see a yellow-sided trim like this one, it means you're going to be changing the length of the track. So either shortening it or lengthening it. If you see the purple trim rollers or red, that means you won't change the length, you're just changing the position of where that transition is in the sequence. The other thing that we can do with trim modes is to use these new settings here, which acts a little bit more like Final Cut Pro actually. If you click at the top of the track, you'll get the red mode, which basically overwrites. You can see as we go through here, it will actually open up filler in that space to maintain sync. Or if you click on the bottom half, you've gone into the yellow mode, and that will ripple the edit. If you want to get rid of the filler, then you'd need to click in the filler and eliminate it. You can also do that by simply dragging. There we go. You can see how when I drag in yellow mode, the length of the track changes, and then when I drag in red mode, the length doesn't change because you're basically overwriting or filling with filler to maintain sync. And that's a little bit about trim mode.